Okay, just hang on. I'll put my mic.
Good morning. All right, good morning. Salutin Edlarot. Good doing zinige Dene Yati podcaster with on the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan,
Ah,
Saskatoon. It's our season doing zinige. Duhunt ya nea tisi hunt elbagan ya stio and locola and desots and but Torlunt I hunt zisi. And then doing zinige I got Robert Marasti Sahel hunt das. Robert is actually going to do his own radio show over in Alacrosse. So this is going to be broadcasting in radio stations, northern Saskatchewan, and right here on Dene Yati podcast. So you can share it. Any Métis Nation members, citizens that want to tune in on this broadcast here, tell all your relatives and join us here this morning. So they'll be getting started around 10 o'clock, I do believe. And then, so I'm going to hand this over to Robert, and he's going to continue on this is radio show here this morning.
good morning, Lindy. How are you doing in Alacrosse? I'm not doing too bad. Actually, I'm. If you tune in to Dene Yati podcast, you'll be able to catch us. We should be able to rebroadcast from Alacrosse. Gomigwase so Saskatoon naman tayo nano tahi go sa kweske pitaksen. Macho migi pitata. Let's check. How come I can't hear you? Okay. All right. You're setting up the volume over there, eh? Okay. Are we on air right now? Okay, tan sato ya kakeo ya magantuhta mege guti sageta waxi pise hopanchuana nihio pase mosagan senor Robert Morasti. Willis Javier, merci nuita Willis Javier. Thank you, Willis Javier, for allowing us to co-host with you here on your Dene Yate podcast. Lindy, that's what we're doing today. I'm co-hosting with Willis Javier. He's the owner of this podcast, and we have to thank him. Thank you very much, Willis. Thank you so much for allowing us to be heard on your Dene Yate podcast. Iksuma guys have to skata makigomigocho may pihuyakuma. We're just waiting for everything to go to get set up here. They're setting up. We're not quite started yet. I can't say anything about what's happening here right now, but we will be able to catch the opening ceremonies and everything on radio. Kakyugi weo tagapiktinya o yawan mano sa makagigsipa yago tan suma gati saya at kiguyo makhochuti Saskatoon kauchapikis kuana sa magagisigak. Igwa kapihtawana nagmoista so matan sumagatagati tatsumotse. Migocho man nagyaya tinuma. Maga Willis nagipigisquata. Hey Willis, how would you like to be my guest on Morning Coffee this morning? You're listening to Morning Coffee, everybody out there. I have as my guest right now Willis Javier. Good morning, Willis. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good, Robert. It's good to be here with you again. We've done a couple shows in the past here, and to be able to bring your language to the people back in Alacrosse, it's a good thing. Dene Yati, I'm mainly doing Dene, but we can all come together and share our languages.
Yes, we do have an audience in Pachanak and all the highway travelers that
Yeah.
and we do also have some people that are in long-term care at St. Joseph's Hospital.
Yeah.
And so they're probably listening to us too right now.
Oh, yeah.
So we can say good morning to the people in long-term and the people at the St. Joseph's Hospital that are Dena.
Yeah. Yeah, good morning. Salutin at Andras, Asi Dunzinik, John Saskatoon at Aridila, at the Métis Nation, TC that the Hund other Bagankari, the Dua Kola, 10 o'clock, Azahu, there may be 11 o'clock a year. That Igan 9 TC, dirt I gold there. A Yorkton Bagan Yaitio, so Dunzinik, a mass, and a stanot, I don't, and not days, Alhunta, I read, I see Nes and I know he had Tiedit, I had Hornick, Saskatchewan, AI, no he tie bit adril aya.
Thank you. Merci. Merci, Willis. Nusa magagisa nga ko, Willis, kahit ito ti Saskatoon, mi kwan dayapinan. Mis kam to nagwes machista, ogo mo tagapi, kawi pi mama wapit sukoga. Nagito ano next gen, igwas sa kiwit no ko sa sino, mi gwas umaya. Ipi mama wapit sugot, mami skogi goyo maya, mama wapuak, magamuistas. Tapituhti o, wala pa pigis ko atana, naguta. Ay sino wagan ko tayo kapinigan unigani o kiwit no ko sa Saskatchewan ni ko sa apes kiwit no uniga piko sa from La Loche to Buffalo Narrows to Isla Cross what I can say that we have leaders from the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan right from La Loche to Buffalo Narrows and some from Isla Cross that are going to be here as well. We'll probably see them. I haven't seen anybody from Isla Cross yet, though, but we'll ask if they're not here, why they're not here. And magami guacho maya o tamisat nuap mao ge gutiu chuniga pe musto pasig Bear Creek Johnny Woodward o tanuap mao ge sep e gomis kama pis kwata we o to me guas tihta puno mamaniska ko. There's going to be a signing on the other side and not here in the main ballroom. Eh? So tayo utagaya sigoma we stashigoma mwinga gyamu tinigoma. I can't talk about that right now, but I will tell you that on my way here yesterday, utagapi papampe ano tatipisko. Wah, weska wat tagamaya gisigaw. Debdinan tohtsa. Imatsipi waki gim wakam. Suskwachi sigipi stak. Kasik minala grali paksek. Suskwachi pihta waka. Suskwachi mahmatu iwiga ko tapmetsa ko tandota panas ko. Ego pipakih tekan ma iskotiu. Suskwachi iskotiu wigan ma. Ego tapmetsa ko tadamisha sigo teguan ma ipakih tek. Tohsi wespi ko tahtomi naga pakih teke ko te wespi ko imsamatu iwig. Misaga mi to se deb Dennis Cockshell brook he got tagwes so squat tawa he got in a piano got there. And Maya go he my gisagi pi waki giste la grelly paxe he sigi pistag in miskomi pistag. Ah, wesen six and guide, twig wesen sigi one guide, twig one and ma. He got to sig way speak or shall broken take was here gits upsis. Magahaska we igoki pake te kemuani sige pistak iguas seminaya I miskomi pistak igunan hegiguaya igimua I miskomi pistak I sige pistak I matuiwik la grali pakse keguan hegakyogi wegunan he misaga misko kestapinane Saskatoon tegea ano taya hotel room tanegea Uttagi pikapisiaan tipsko magigwa kistapinane kan tagapita kuhtiaan ni kutegwa ya suswatsin na namagutsinian mua chawasamin suswats suswats mua wasami go Sharon big squat ang suswats ko tagapisik stapinane mga tatawasami tapampain you had enough ndik yeah tapwi maga had enough so tanda tawane wala hotel room ko tagistapinane ko tegan pigapisin kiksapi ko wi patsigan pipapampain Ego to saya kiksap ne no to sa kita pa na pito ko kapi sa puhtian kista penana ko ta sa ska to menate ko ko te pito tian pas bita ko pa ta puena sus ka wi pas na pita ko tano ta at pisto ya we to wagi wa mi wa so mo tam na pinano ko so ko ta aputu ga wa ma wa wagi ko ta sa sti pa siga ne kan ma uta eso gaya wa Uskinigo, Kigaso Skinigo, Gawitap Magawa, Utagan Wichiwagan, Willis Jave, Gapagit Nuguak, Tapachita, Utapachiga, no Hutaga, Yomama Pachiga, no, it was a guy's Kagaskita, there's a pig squawk, Timi Guatsuma, Cantuktago, Yakoma Miguatsuma, Eguana, Miguasan Papigis one, which chippy pistig with Ogemau. For the president of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, Glenn McCallan, may napipihtigoy. Kung tagag may napipahpihtigoy, wago, tamiwaso, ma. Ego tagot sa ya. Muistasan sa kapigiswata no, Glenn. Tamaw maya, ispiyo maya, kisihtato, kapihtawana na go, matani ko mo, tagapituhti, sa kanang sumagagi sigak. Miosen. Mutsimi na Brennan o tape mo dito. So Brennan, I just told on you. You maybe you want to come sit with me and say hi. Okay. Brennan is going to be here in a moment just to talk, just to say good morning to Isla Cross. So Brennan, go ahead and say good morning.
Oh, hi, Uncle, and good morning to all the listeners out there from Saskatoon, our city of bridges. It's got a slight overcast today, a little bit of wind, but nothing we can't handle over here.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Things are going good. The schedule's been busy. They say we're gonna take a month off coming up this summer. I ain't gonna get my hopes up because every day's different. Everything, something different's coming at us. Different meetings, schedules, directives, and conversations happening every day from morning till night. So, taking care of our citizens, putting in the work is a good job, and enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, I'm catching up to you all.
Well, I thought I was losing, but all these breakfast briefings, and it's it's called discipline, they say, and it's something that I'm learning as we go.
Absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful to hear you, and you're doing good. You're looking good.
Thank you so much, Uncle. And just a quick shout out to Amy and the girls. Hello. We'll see you about 3 o'clock in the morning tonight. We have a premier's dinner we're attending this evening. Following that, I'll make my way home with my brother Ron Moore and go say hi to our kids
Oh
for a
yeah,
couple nights.
and did you get a chance to meet the Prime Minister with Michelle Leclerc?
We did see the Prime Minister at the summit last week in Ottawa with President McCollum and Vice President Leclerc. Our team was there for a couple days with our Métis National Council President, Cassidy Caron, and her team. We got to have a meet and greet at their new office in Ottawa downtown. And a lot of networking taking place in regards to our legislation, which should be introduced June 19th here, coming up next week. So it's just nonstop conversations, networking, building those relationships. And like I said, every day is a new day, a busy day, but it's a good busy.
So, are you going to get a chance to head her down to Pine House for the Elders Conference?
We will. This coming Sunday, we'll be spending our Father's Day in airports as we make our way to Ottawa for the legislation, introduction of legislation in the House. Tuesday, we'll fly back to Saskatoon, make our way over to Pine House so we can participate in that Elders gathering. And then there will be a housing meeting that President McCollum is organizing with some of our northern regional directors that we can talk about a housing strategy for the North. He's had a meeting with the Premier several weeks back, and they had that conversation. And so we want to continue that work and build off of it.
That sounds wonderful. Well, I probably will see you in Pine House. Mnewas kay gani. Ikutigo up now. We're going to be going there as well, so we'll go do some interviews, and we'll probably catch you there again.
Oh, you bet. And if anybody's in the area, I highly recommend you come. The community opens its doors to you. They welcome you, make you feel at home. The food is great, of course. I'm the food tester, so I know that for firsthand. It's fish, moose meat, traditional meals, and people getting together from across the province, just enjoying the outdoors and conversations.
That's wonderful. And then Batosh is in the preparation stages as well.
You bet. We've been planning back to Batosh since February of this year. Our lead, Christy Ross from Culture and Heritage, has been leading the team, which has been assembled and put to work. We've got 26 interns assisting our leads in all departments. I've been assisting as lead for entertainment, and we've got a 5-star lineup from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, even Sunday. Yvonne St. Germain with Mervyn Moore and Company will join us for a gospel jamboree. But we have the Hague story with Jess Lee as one of the highlights. The George Jones tribute with Dwayne Steele. We have Shania Twin. We have Métis fiddlers such as JJ Lavallee, Adam Dayad, Jeremy Corrigal, Joseph Desjarlais, RJ Morin. So many more that are coming. Armin Duck Chief, Ryan Keplin from the United States. So we have a lineup. Ovid Pilon out of St. Louis, who's got ties to Batosh, will be there. Matthew Peterson and his band, Half Seas Over. So we've got a good network from North, Central, and South.
So I just got a text from Isla Cross. Good morning, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle Leclerc just walking in as well. Michelle's the vice president of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, talking to our audience back in Isla Cross. So apparently, we're going down to the podium here very shortly. We got a little bit of a technical problem over there. Are you live? Somebody's saying yes, and yes, we're on live, but apparently we have a bad connection between here and Isla Cross. So, son of a gun. But it's working better now. Right
Oh,
on.
there you go.
Thank you, Gerald. It's always great to see Gerald on the other side. He's always letting us know how things are. It's good to know that,
It
because
is good. Yeah.
otherwise we wouldn't know. So people are kind of coming in, crowding in really good, and I'm really happy.
Yep.
Stay and talk to me for a while until we go to the podium and listen to the guest speakers because we're going to be listening to them live here. Right on. Right on. So I'm getting comments right now. People saying it sounds good. That is awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. And once again, to our audience out there, compliments of Dene Yate. We're listening. They're listening to us. Compliments of Dene Yate. Wilajabe, listening to us right now. Hey, right on. And this is right. Hey, good morning. Yeah. So, how are you?
Right on. Yeah, I guess
Uh-huh.
if they missed it, we can highlight the Batosh again. It's coming up July 20th to the 23rd. Our lead, Christy Ross, has assembled our team. I've been lead for entertainment. We'll be covering the main and second stage Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with various artists such as Jeremy Corgel, Joseph DeJarley on fiddle, JJ Lavallee, Adam Daya, Alex Kostyrak, Jason Lapine, Ryan Keplin, Dean Smith. You'll also have entertainers as the Hag story from Jess Lee, Dwayne Steele doing a George Jones tribute, Armin Ducksheaf, several other bands such as Matthew Peterson from Buffalo Narrows with his band Half Seas Over, the Ivan Flood Memorial Dancers, Northern Prairie Dancers, Capel Valley Dancers, Creeland Dancers will all be in attendance. So it's a five-star lineup. We'll have gospel on Sunday along with our contest for jigging. We'll have a John Arcan showcase. It's just unbelievable teamwork that we've assembled this lineup. We'll have Chuck Wagon and Chariot Races, Indian Relay, Children's Place, our team, Barbara Popoff and them, Andrew Fiss, Kara Reed and them have assembled a lot of activities for the children. We'll have pavilions, traditional camp will be there from Eastern Region 3, Northern Region 3. And of course, our elder uncle, our great uncle Chuck will be there and doing his thing and support of the grand entry procession and so on. So it's going to be a wonderful week. Come out if you can. And again, the Pine House Elders Gathering is coming up next week. President McCollum and our team will be there June 21st, 22nd, following the legislation introduction in Ottawa. So it's busy times, good times for our Métis Nation. A lot of history being made.
Isn't that something? Well, we won't miss Batosh. We're going to be there. CILX will be there to do exactly what we're doing right now. We'll be broadcasting live. We'll have to ask Willis to come down there.
Good stuff. Yes, I
Yes.
agree. And I know Dorothy Roy reached out there looking at bringing some elders, which gives me good feelings and good vibes because I'd love to see more of our Northwest side Métis citizens, elders, and families come across and enjoy it. I know my family's looking forward to it again. They
Yes,
always
and
have a great time.
right on. And right now we're seeing people starting to come in.
Yeah.
There's people from La Loche, Buffalo Narrows, and there's also people from Bear Creek. I see Johnny Woodward at Johnny Woodward's people coming in, but he's not here yet.
No, I haven't seen the senator yet.
Yeah.
I know we do have Leonard Montgrant and his regional representatives here from Turner Lake, Bear Creek, Michelle Village, St. George's Hill, Buffalo Narrows, La Loche. They're all here.
That's
It's
really
great to
good.
see.
Well, we'll be talking to some of these guys, but I see your master of ceremonies walking around over there.
Yeah, John Lajimere, he's here. He's also a speaker of our Legislative Assembly along with Matilda Wagner.
Oh, good.
Or Merelda, sorry.
Yes.
Merelda. And on that note, Uncle, I do have to get going back to the
Okay,
president.
you'll
so
go ahead.
I
Yes.
appreciate this conversation. I look
All
forward to
right.
seeing you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brennan Maras, Dianos Bogagi si Pigis Quanta, Gutanos Bogapitawa, Egoma, Yamuta, Koma, back to Patosoma, Capitos Kata, Komi Guatsoma, Aisoma, Nipi, Gotak Pisem, Pasca would pisem, Miguatsoma, Maga, Egotegua, Pascopisem, Egotegua Gawipia, Tuktia, Kawitawi to back to Batosh, Exixicati, no Miguatsoma, Etoskata, Homani Ganmina. Meneer was kijken, ik is met het potato toch die achmena ja. Igual, na marsigeta no me na pegou Brennan, igual, rapi pix quarto é como. Mas se me gosta John Lajamudi, man Timothy Pachmuchtio. We're going to be going to the podium here. We're listening to the people making their opening remarks and everything like that. tapigis ko tayo ko nago kapitawan nago matani ko mo taga kapitu ti sigo tayo ano sa magagis ga miosen o maya ka kawapahta mano magakyo squats ko is kat saga skinio ipihta me go te atsumostat ko atsumostat now misaw mo to maluhod dalo mo taga squats misui ti so mal so kids on wapatino to tohten wapatin I can see the Saskatchewan River. It's kind of cloudy here in Saskatoon. Me once my was one of them Saskatoon minata go whence the hagi way tin kia swagi pia mia segu ti mi wap mago we sin wago tapitsa ko tapitos me way tin o tapitsa pues mi yogi suwaya o tamuita kayo Misuite sino agi pamaga po sige piho chugoma tamatsa pego mama wa bueno mayo mama wa po ego tige tuhtano ante dalla podium ante tapigis with the master of ceremonies John Lajamudier maganego ante John Woodward gamatwi pihtuit live play so ma live play by play mo mama wa bueno kan tuhta make no up ma go taglan makalam ante matwi ni po matui hatsu mo te go simina go tagago go taga kawa mago te pe bakti go pe Utsugasti pa chigi wag sus kam sweet you so CBC CTV o ta ko ya tapo wag wista wami na min pe gon CILX Dene Yati o ta ya wista wa to mga kautipigis ko anes mi watso mi sata pito go sana li sa si wa pa man ni wen ya why man gis yan tap to man esta ya ne go amada mo shoot games man mo chu chasta ya ne go ya go na mani ti go ma ni go ni go mani ya mai sa si go po skin ska gi si pa ya no it's po go ya o ta ki si go na ni po ne mo ya ya ski ta mi ya pito go sana yan kini ho na us no ya sa ti ki no go es so ni hiyo na go shini tu pero ni tu ni hiya sa so mo taga para me ga po ya no mo ta digo ya maga ya de ya pini go te big squat te go digo to ma ya stagi go yo mo ma mena ge wihtin mena ge wihtin me go so ma tani ko mo taga piano ma tani ko taga pian mayo mayo ti na podium to tito ave go ta kichna si go ya ego tine sui pahin good morning go no ego John Lajamudier John Lajamudier is the master of ceremonies here with us so we should be as soon as we hear him going to the podium or we see him we can switch over when he says good morning
Yeah. Actually, we've got to do a sound check here. See that we're getting the audio through.
okay everything is cool so
Everything is good.
yeah. Yeah, we haven't talked about it. Rena is shaking in her boots. Okay, she's good now though. Yeah, wait till not until Rena says so. We can't talk about what's going on here.
Can we get you to take a seat, please? The front row is reserved for people that are signatories, I believe.
Okay. Yes, we're gonna.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off there,
No
but
problem.
we had to get situated here, and we've got our MC that's going to be up there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody listening out in La Crosse, La Loche, Buffalo Narrows, Bear Creek, Dillon,
Prince
Pachinak,
Albert, Saskatoon, and many other places
everywhere. Yes,
on CILXradio.com.
big historic event here. I'm going to say. I don't think we're able to say anything just yet, but
No.
I'm going to change this over to the MC, and you're going to be able to listen to everything. Again, this is going to be over at 12 o'clock. So for the next 2 hours, it'll be in and out, Robert and I in Dene and Korea Midship. And so it'll be able to access and hear any information that is going to be passed on here today.
Absolutely wonderful. Merci. Right, Tito Willis. Utinga Mayum, John Lajamudi, and Timothyam. So we'll switch over to John over there real quick. As soon as he starts. Right, Tito. Kapigik sipa.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is John Lajamodier. I'm going to be your MC today. But before we do anything, in order to start us in a good way, we're going to welcome Elder Emile Janvier to bless us with an opening prayer. Emile?
Good morning, everyone. You know, before I'd like to say a few words before I do my opening prayer. You know, patience is something that I must have lots of. I've been in this organization for 54 years, and I've seen protests, roadblocks, and pounding on tables. And today we don't pound on tables, we negotiate. And when you negotiate, you go a lot further. And in the last few years, you know, when you go for a medical somewhere south, you don't have to sleep in your car. You can get a hotel and a few dollars for food and lodging. We're going somewhere that someday I thought would come. And today we're signing a historic agreement that I've been waiting for all these years. So that's what with that, I'd like to say a prayer. Dari du zinega janatui dele. No home nihu. Dama shigaratin dene si. Jandu zinega. Sana dio aliehu. Another no two cousin was canu. Idorin thoroughly. Eva Balno, Nohono, Alexi Wale, Nohani, Jesus, Lesana, two, Nohodon, Nihu, Netlassen, Nate Day on the La, Ea, to Zinega mercy, to Zinego. Thank you, Lord.
To my wife at CEPES that for you for that good prayer you said this morning. Thank you very much. Hi. Just
Thank you, Emile.
54 years is a long time.
Emile says to me, 54 years is a long time. And I'm like, I'm 54. That is a long time.
you know, my wife quickly handed over that gift for the elder. We took the credit for Next Gen. Next Gen gave the gift to the elder, but on our behalf, for all of us. Thank you very much.
A little bit of clarity there. Thank you, Mr. President. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. And I just want to acknowledge being here in the homeland of the Métis and Treaty 6 territory, where, you know, historically, the newcomers and the Indigenous folks worked together, you know, shared economy in the fur trade. Our people came from that fur trade. We had economy. We all profited together. We had relationships. But we know now that some of those relationships got interrupted, and sometimes not in the most positive of ways. And there was fights over, as Emile said, the economy. But here we are today having a signing ceremony that 54 years later becomes a very significant element here in the province, both for industry and for the Métis community, and the acknowledgement of those rights and the sharing of economy again, so we can undo all that history and start anew going forward. And I think this is a very exciting day for everybody. So I think we should just get right into it so that we can celebrate after. And I'd like you to help me welcome first to the podium Mr. Leonard Montgrand, the Regional Director, M&S Northern Region 2. Help me welcome Leonard.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a little shaky this morning, and it's not from nerves, it's from my illness, but I just want to say a couple things. The speech today was written with Adam next, and thank you, Adam, for offering your help in doing the IBA. Okay, my name is Leonard Montgrant. I'm the Regional Director of Northern Region 2. It's an honor and a privilege to speak to you today as we sign what the President McCollum noted is the single largest economic agreement in Métis history. Impact benefit agreements like this are vital for Indigenous government and communities. They recognize our inherent right to self-determination and allow us to participate in development and wealth generation. The IBA we're signing today is proof that meaningful Indigenous engagement and consultation are always beneficial for the industry. They provide a faster path to Indigenous support, which in turn makes it easier to obtain regulatory approval and secure financing. It is also provides a basis for relationship funding and building between our region, our nation, and industry, which could be one of the most fruitful outcomes of this agreement. Our region has been hit hard by wildfires and one of the most economically challenged in the province. A lot of effort went into this agreement over many years, and I'd like to thank NextGen and all the stakeholders and partners who worked tirelessly to make this happen. I also like to recognize MNS and our team for legal and capacity support. This is what perhaps happens when we all work together for the benefit of our communities, our citizens, and the land they call home. With this agreement, we remain stewards of the land, but we also gain prosperity, and with that, the opportunity to address many issues facing our region, from addiction and substance abuse to training and employment opportunities. We have the capacity to do more for our people, serve them better, and ensure quality of life is increasing for all citizens. And with this, the employment training included in the IBA, we can also make sure that not only will this project be a success, but the Métis will have a hand in making it so. Merci, Cho. I want Marlene and Keith to come up and say a few words. If you can, come on up then, guys. Marlene and Keith were part of the negotiating committee, and I think it's important for them to be also recognized. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Keith Suchak. I'm the Métis Local 39 President of La Loche. Standing here today is a very proud moment, not only for me and my community, but also for us as Métis citizens of the province. Being able to be a part of this negotiation team and having those negotiations go back and forth over the past 4 years has been very, how do you put it? When you have those highs and you have those lows when you're negotiating, and sometimes we just don't know if we're going to get there or not. And there was a lot of times where we thought we might not get there, but with people like Glenn and our legal team and our Clearwater Clear Lake board that helped us to have that confidence, and our elder Emile Janvier as well. It helps us build that confidence that we needed in order to get to where we wanted to be and where we were happy. With that being said, I also would like to acknowledge the previous leaders that led this fight in the past. We have a lot of previous presidents that stood before us that have fought many, many fights and battles with provincial governments and federal governments just to be where we are today. Our Métis local region, we had two strong leaders in the past, and that was the late Philip Chartier in Buffalo Narrows and the late Armin Murray in La Loche. These two leaders kept that Métis name alive when things weren't really happening, things weren't really going on. And they kept that Métis spirit alive in our communities. And I'm so proud today to be Métis and to be Dene from La Loche. And I just want to acknowledge our past leadership that fought the fight to get to where we are today. Because moving into the future, I can only think of the future generations that this agreement is going to benefit. Today, as leaders, we're setting the foundation for our future in our region. And it's such a proud moment to know that we're going to have capacity to be able to do things that we weren't never able to be able to do before. And it's just a proud moment for us to be able to have this agreement in place and to know that we're going to be able to take care of our citizens. And I'm just very, very proud to be here today. And I want to say thank you to the MNS for their guidance, their help. A big thank you to Leonard Montgrant, who played a key role as our regional area director. Many times in our little group, you know how politics work, you know? Sometimes you agree and you disagree, and sometimes we almost dispersed in our negotiating and debating. And Leonard was able to help unify us and keep us unified. And with the help of Glenn McCollum and the Métis Nation, we were able to stay unified. And my message is, when we're unified, we're much stronger together. So I hope this Northern Region 2 can be a template for all of our regions in the province, so we can all prosper and move forward in a positive way. And I know I'm forgetting many, many people, but my local board that is here today, thank you for all your hard work that you've done to help us get to where we are. Can you please rise, Local 39? Thank you. Sorry, that's okay. Clearwater, Clear Lake Board, you could rise too, because you guys, please stand. It's okay. I was just trying to recognize the boards, because, you know, without them, you know, they had the belief, and our board, basically, you know, we had to select a couple of people that could speak on our behalf in our negotiating team, because we couldn't all be there. And I just want to say thank you to the board for having confidence in Marlene and myself and Leonard to help lead the negotiating team on our behalf. And I know I'm forgetting other people, but with that being said, I want to thank you all for being here today and helping us celebrate this momentous moment for us. Marcy Cho.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm nervous.
Can't be worse than me.
I'm not shaking quite as bad as Leonard. I'm Marlene Hansen. For those that don't know me, I'm the president of Local 62, and we also have our board members here that supported us and was behind me 100%, because we just needed that. Sometimes I say, I need that direction, because this is where we look like we're going to go. What do I do? Stay strong. So thank you. I'm from Buffalo and Arrows, and I'm with Northern Region 2. I'd like to thank the Elder Imo for the prayer. And I would also like to thank our Local 62, as well as Brian McDonald and Louise Peterson. I'd also like to mention late Philip Shorty, my mother and my father, for their wisdom, their guidance, and their strength. I was looking forward to the signing of the Impact Benefit Agreement. I hope to continue in developing our relationship that is based on good faith. Working on the IBA has been a learning experience for all of us. NextGen has learned about our cultural ways, about the way we live, and our relationships with our traditional land. In return, we learned the important information on the mining and the operations, and more effectively, the importance of monitoring the use of our territory. I would like to thank M&S, Glenn. I remember the first day we had our meeting at the Sheraton. And I know people are going to say that's hard to believe because politics is politics and you never know what's going to come at you. And Glenn said, this is yours and I'm going to stay out of it. And he did. Thank you, Glenn. I want to thank Aaron and Byron for the guidance and the patience, because we needed them to have that patience. I'm so ever grateful for Aaron. He reminded us that we can have a relationship because we went in wanting to build a relationship with NextGen. And we had to stop the meeting and he said, you have to remember, this is a business. And it changed for me. That was a real turning point for me in the negotiations, because I swear Adam is Métis. His hospitality was so hard to separate from the business and the personal. And we'd leave and I think, was Adam, is he going to talk to me again? Because I think one day we both hit the table at the same time. I'd like to thank Leonard for the confidence in me. Leonard's very patient. Sometimes I thought he was a little bit too easygoing, so I'd push him more. But I want to thank NextGen for joining in with us in building a bridge of respect, in building this relationship with the mining company and with the government, and to be able to recognize us like this is historical, and we wouldn't be able to do that without you. So thank you. And thank you everyone for celebrating with us today. Thank you.
That was so very sincere. You can just see the impact from the way they're talking. That's great. And they talked about working together. And so now I want to bring up the President and Chief Executive Officer of NextGen, Mr. Lee Courier, a good friend of the Métis of Saskatchewan. Please help me welcome him.
Well, I'm nervous too, and very excited. And I'd just like to reflect on a few things. Look, I'm from Australia. I'm actually from Ghana country in Adelaide, but I'm now a very proud Canadian citizen and feel absolutely privileged to live and work and be part of a community in such an outstanding country. On a global basis, I think Canada leads the world in many, many things. And the positive impact that Canada has on the rest of the world with respect to its leadership, I think is something that I'm incredibly proud of, to be called Canadian today. And I think today's signing is a contribution that the NextGen team has made to reflecting the values that Canada is about in terms of making positive impact on everyone they meet. It's something I saw my mother do every day of my life, and it has really transpired into one of the core objectives of NextGen, and that is very simply to make a positive impact on everyone we meet. And that rules everything we do. And this IBA is I think, an excellent reflection of that. It's extremely transparent with respect to our activities and operations. We're side by side with the information, every aspect of the impact that the project can have. We are designing a project that is going to be one of the world's most environmentally elite managed mines, and that's very, very important to us. It's not the cheapest way to do it. It's more expensive, but it's about elite environmental management and absolutely optimizing the minimalistic approach of the potential impacts. And that's something which is we've been committed to from the very first day the company was incorporated. And it's something which we will always be committed to, even long after the mine, which I believe will still be open when I'm no longer here. But that is absolutely embedded in our approach to the development of this asset. The other aspect is the impact that it's going to have on the local community, the province of Saskatchewan and Canada. And it really does have the potential to really address one of the key issues worldwide, which is energy security and the provision of energy, and doing it in a decarbonated manner as well. And the project is going to basically be the most material driver in delivering energy security in a very clean, decarbonated manner worldwide. So it's an incredible privilege for us all to be a part of, working together in delivering. One of the things I'm most excited about is the project is going to, with the training, with the opportunities, and with our focus of keeping everything as local as possible, is actually going to bring family members back into the local project area. And that's something which we're very, very proud about. And the programs that we will design in collaboration with the community are all about sustainable outcomes, many of which will not be dependent on the mine. And I think that's a design feature that everyone in this room can be incredibly proud of. And it's now a new template that other communities in other parts of Canada can maybe take some lessons from and expand that positive impact exponentially from outside of our community. So it's an incredibly proud moment for us. We're incredibly excited, we're ready to really unlock the positive impact that this project can have. I'd like to take a few moments to thank my team. Travis, the Chief Commercial Officer of NextGen's been working alongside me for the past 10 years, heavily supportive and influential in today's outcome. Adam, also been working alongside me for over 10 years, one of the first employees of the organisation. And as Marlene was saying, like his enthusiasm and his commitment to doing what's right is absolutely absolute and infectious, and he rubs off on other people in the same manner. Dylan, who another key member of the team who only really recently joined us 2 years ago, has made an immediate impact. And I actually think if he ever had decided to have a career in politics, he'd probably go the whole way to right to the top. But they're the members of the team who are directly associated with the community and the front. But there's a much larger team, many represented here today. Luke Moga, who's head of the environmental side of our project. His dedication and commitment to doing it absolutely the best achievable is absolute. And Luke, his disposition and commitment to you all is something that I'm incredibly proud of. Feel very fortunate to work alongside of him as well in the pursuit of this amazing objective that we have in front of us. Mary, the team from Mary Fraser, Vice President of Communications as well, very instrumental in communicating all of the good work that, when I say us, it's us, NextGen and the community is doing collectively together as well. The team from the NextGen office, we've got represented by IT, geologists, accounting, everyone. There's a huge team behind this organisation who are all dedicated to optimising the potential outcomes of this project. We are non-negotiable of it. Everyone lives and breathes this project when they come to NextGen. It's a very high bar, but what you're getting with us is an absolute commitment to deliver an exceptional outcome. And I'm excited because today it is really just the start, and I'm incredibly excited about what I know we're going to do collectively, and set a new standard as to the way responsible resource development can happen with communities. So that's something that we're very excited about. I'd like to also acknowledge the negotiation. I think it's 4 days shy of 4 years when we first sat down in the office to discuss the IBA. And every negotiation has that element to it, where you on one side of the table and the other, but it was always done very, very respectfully. And we were very aware we were coming into a situation where past companies hadn't acted responsibly, hadn't recognised rights or title, and really did a very, very poor job. And we understood that. And all we've ever said is to judge us by our actions. And I think this IBA is an excellent framework where it's transparent. We're working alongside of each other to optimise outcomes. Information and learning, Marlene mentioned, she learned about NextGen, and NextGen learned about Métis culture along the way. We're not across that finish line. We've got a lot more to learn, and we're looking forward to that journey with you all. So thank you.
I heard responsible resource development, recognition of rights and title, words that, 30 years ago, not so common in our vernacular. So thank you, Mr. Courier. Now I'd like to welcome up the President of the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan, who's in the last 6 years has taken us to places I never could have imagined. So please help me welcome President Glenn McCallum.
Good morning, everyone. Mios nanu sumutawas kapia. Kiwagia imo mato perma nagay tutamen kaya mahain imachista in the right way. Kitakakuipingan. It's nice to see that the elders are involved and the prayers that we say that are important in regards to how we move forward with whoever is our partner as we begin to move forward. And the language is so important when we speak up here. My Cree language and the Dene language. I was just asking some of the folks in regards to what statement I would make or what words I would use. The days of Nezule are about to stop. The days of bad things are ending. The days of Nezule, the good days are beginning. And that is so true here today as we sit around. I was asking Kelly that, and he said, "That'll be fine." But I didn't tear it up too badly. But anyway, I'd like to thank our Vice President here, Michelle, and Lisa, our Secretary from the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, being here. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the team. As you were mentioning in regards to negotiations, things were happening sometimes thinking that some fall apart or break up. You had your team, we have the M&S team. And today I can say that we have one team. All of us are in this together. As I sit here and I listen in regards to what you've achieved, to be able to speak for yourselves as Métis people, to be able to speak on behalf of your people, to be able to address the issues that face you every day with cooperation from NextGen. Lee, thank you for the work that you do and the people that you bring to the table that understand the importance of working partnerships, cross-cultural understanding, and to be able to respect each other in that way. I look forward to the future. But not so long ago, as John says, 6 years ago, we never dreamt we'd be here. But with the help of our team, with the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, the right-hand man that's been standing beside me all these years, Richard Quintel, I call him my brother. And to be able to bring the team together, Tom Isaac, Aaron, Chris Goff, Matt, Vermette, Aaron Reed, and there's a lot of people we can compliment within our government. And always remember that under Section 35, we have every right to be able to determine our own lives and structure ourselves in a way that we were respected, most importantly, but understood, most importantly. When I look in the back of me here, I was watching as you were speaking, Lee. I looked at Next Gen and the values you have: honesty, respect, resilience, accountability. I would like to see, I urge you today to take into consideration what I'm going to say. The reason being is that no one ever made a big step like you have, Next Gen has, to be able to look at reconciliation. I have always said openly that reconciliation is a weasel word, and I'll always use it until I see results in regards to how important it is to be able to understand our government and to be able to understand the issues that we face every day, and to be able to have governments open their doors in industry to be able to support us in a good way. Because reconciliation is on everybody's shoulders, but more importantly, on the shoulders of the Métis, our government. And so when we look at the results of what the results that you will see of what you've done today, the signing of this agreement in regards to the things that Northern Region 2 talks about: alcoholism, drug abuse, suicides. Everybody talks about those things, but nobody does anything about it. For the capacity that will be available to Northern Region 2 can be able to start addressing those issues and to be able to create their own programs, but not mainstream programs and status quo. That's where reconciliation happens. The real reconciliation happens because of what you've done. What I like to see on this poster is I want to see trust, respect, feeling, caring, tolerance, understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness side by side with your values and our values. Because when people read those words of 8 principles that we carry ourselves with, the Métis Nation: trust, respect, feeling, caring, tolerance, understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness, it means something to us. And I understand these values that you have from a business perspective, from a personal perspective, from an Indigenous perspective, from a Métis perspective. You need to have those words. When people ask you the question, what reconciliation means, you can tell them this agreement that you've signed and the benefits that the people that sign with you will have the capability to be able to address and start programs that are based on identity, culture, values, and language. I would like to see that happen. There's a lot of people that are involved that have looked at the Métis Nation in regards to where we've been and where we are today. The University of Saskatchewan sits with us here. And we have an MOU framework, not a framework, a citizenship agreement, and we're teaching governance at the University of Saskatchewan. There's other players that want to partner with the Métis Nation. Governments are now starting to open their doors in regards to the reality of what's going on in Indigenous communities. Because I tell you one thing, when we signed our collaboration agreement, this is an IBA that you signed, we signed a collaboration agreement in Pine House. And look at where we've been, from 99% of alcoholism in my community to where we are today, that we can stand on our own 2 feet and be able to do the things that we want to do, and we're succeeding. This is what's going to happen as we begin to move along in regards to the planning that needs to happen within that region, but without expecting somebody else to be able to tell you in regards to what is right for you and what is right for your communities. So for me, it is a great day. Like I said before, this is one team now that we have, and this team is obligated to be able to have the best that we can do with the signing that we have today, with the capacity that can be available. The Métis Nation, what we've done in the last 6 years is showed people that we can structure ourselves in a good way, be accountable and transparent. We're the only government that shows every meeting that we have, every provincial Métis Council meeting, every assembly that we have, the elder involvement that we have within our PMC, our assembly. The elders have a voice in regards to what we talk about, how we move forward, and give us the mandate through the elected individuals that sit at the assembly. So those are the things that you need to know in regards to what is the structure of the Métis Nation. That'll give you confidence to know that the steps that you take, you have the backing of the Métis Nation, 100% backing of the Métis Nation, because this is what we've tried for, to know that there's partners out there that are willing to work with us. 320, Brian is here, another great partner of ours that we work with very closely. And this is that world is small. As you begin to look around and to be able to see who's sitting beside you, to be able to shake hands with people that we don't necessarily see or know they're part of the Métis Nation. They're a part of the University of Saskatchewan. They're a part of a provincial or a federal government industry. Those are the things that we have to seriously look at and say and identify to be able to have that strong voice. Because when communities are suffering, I'm a product of residential school, Del Cross boarding school, residential school. My dad was in residential school. My mom was in residential school. You know, for many years, we have been nurtured to a point where people could understand who we are and be able to support us in the right way. Now it's happening. Because when you see 2,000 post-secondary students going to school because of Métis Nation negotiations that we've done with the federal government, now they're contributors to the economy and the well-being of this province. The small communities that's going to benefit, the young kids that are going to school, going to university, you know, they become winners. And when those young people are winners, communities win, big cities win, this province win, Canada wins, everybody's a winner. So we have to look at that in regards to the broader picture and not only look at an isolated incident that doesn't necessarily do justice to what we're fighting for as a Métis government. So from here on in, as we begin to move forward, let's keep our eyes open to be able to look at the broader picture in regards to how can we make a difference, because it's in everyone's hands in this room and people that are listening out there, that we as Canadians would support each other and hopefully continue to support one another for the best interest of this great country that we live in. On behalf of the Métis Nation Saskatchewan, thank you for everything. Thank you, Next Gen. Thank you, LaLoche, and the communities in Northern Region 2. This is a beautiful day and many more days to come. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm just uplifted. It's awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. President, our dignitaries. So what we're going to do now, we're going to acknowledge the folks that were involved in the negotiations of this very historic impact benefit agreement between NextGen, Métis Nation Saskatchewan, Northern Region 2, and the Métis Nation Saskatchewan. Now, not everybody on the negotiating committees are here today, but I'm going to list out their names, and then afterwards you can give a wave and we'll all give them a nice round of applause for the hard work that brought us here today. On behalf of NextGen, it was our Métis cousin, Adam Engdahl, the Vice President of Community at NextGen, Sam Adkins, who's a partner at Blake's, Dylan Smart, Director of Regional Development at NextGen. On behalf of the MNS, Leonard Montgrand, Regional Director, MNS Northern Region 2. Marlene Hansen, President, Local 62, Buffalo Narrows. Keith Shuchuk, President, Local 39, LaLoche. All right. Matthew Vermette, COO, MNS, at the back. Aaron Hoekstra, Partner, Castles. Oh, way back there, right on. Chris Gall, Senior General Counsel, Deputy Chief, MNS. Chris back there too. Byron Dolan, CPA, Independent Financial Advisor to the MNS. Thank you, Byron. Obviously, the CEOs of NextGen and MNS, Richard Quintel, MNS CEO. And of course, good friend of the Métis, Mr. Lee Courier, NextGen CEO. And our old friend, Vice President Michelle Leclerc, Minister of Lands and Environment for the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan. Well done, my friends, well done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the key 10 participants to come to the stage and sign the document publicly. So I'd like to invite up to the stage, again, Mr. Leonard Montgrand, Regional Director, MNS, Northern Region 2, Mr. Lee Courier, President, CEO of Nexen, President Glenn McCallum, Métis Nation, Saskatchewan, Keith Shuchuk, President, Local 39, La Loche, Kelly Kwan, President, Local 40, Turner Lake, Marlene Hansen, President, Local 62, Buffalo Narrows, Violet Herman, President, Local 65, Dillon, Donna Janvier, President, Local 70, St. George's Hill, Dean Herman, President, Local 156, Bear Creek, and Matilda Wagner, President, Local 162, Black Point. While our partners are signing, we will be entertained by Joseph Desjarlais and Kathy Spruill. And away you go. Oh, do we have a document? Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. I was like, we forgot the document. So folks, yeah, take a seat and we'll start down here. President.
Tanssando temete ke guananos pogagi supihtawae go igunegan hutagapi ke squeetsek. Migo sumaya. Ke go kapihtoano matsio mahti se guaya. Willis Javier.
Good morning, Salot in Akutun Zinegate, si Willis Janvier Hushe, John Saskatoon night, the Robert Marasti, the MNS Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, the Lamashi Holy Si, Denaha Métis Nation, Torlunt, Danus in the representatives not there. Local 39, I do believe, Clearwater, Clear Lake. Tlisana Dalio at the Bagande Atias. So Robert Chu Dene cream shift out to see Dene back and forth Yailtias and Dunzineke Masi.
Thank you so much, Willis. Yes, right on. We heard the people speaking this morning. Emilia Javi starting with the opening prayer. John Lajamodier is the master of ceremonies. John used to be the writer, the owner of the newspaper here in Saskatoon, the Métis newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's
yes,
cool.
yes. And this morning we heard from the beginning. We heard Keith Suchuk from La Loche, local number 39.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also heard from Marlene Hansen, the president of local number 62. And in the background, you can hear Joseph Desjarlais playing the violin. And so that's who the signing is going to be taking place not too far from now. In a few minutes, they're going to go to the other room. So while they're in there, maybe what I can do is talk here to our audience on CILX radio, and bring in some few people to interview, to talk to while they're doing the signing. And then once the signing is done, then we'll have the other people talking. We'll have the other people coming in. And we also heard from Lee Courier. Lee Courier is the president and CEO of NextGen, eh? And then we also heard from Glenn McCallum.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn McCallum in a Gipihtawan, Pig Squid. So Glenn McCallum I was also one of the guest speakers over there. So right now we're getting prepared. Everybody is standing around here at the big ballroom, getting ready to go to the next room where a historical signing between NextGen, Area Director Leonard Mogran and his negotiating team, and the Northern Region Number 2, as well as the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. Igunigan gagawin mas na ako, mas nahigan, ano sa makagigsipayak. I can barely wait to know what the contents of that agreement is going to be.
Yeah.
But once the signing is done, we will.
Yeah. Well, the signing is done. The signing was done earlier this morning. We weren't able to say anything, but now publicly it's been announced there. And as you see, the representatives from the Clearwater, Clear Lake region, Clearwater, La Loche, Bear Creek, all those small settlements in northern Saskatchewan, Buffalo, as you mentioned, too. Everybody is going to be up there, and they're going to be. It's going to be out there for everybody.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the things that President Glenn McCollum talked about was, how we can go forward and not throw reconciliation around, but see action and in a respectful way instead of just I'll quote him the weasel word reconciliation just kind of everywhere, but hopefully we can get somewhere. And then Métis Nation have been wanting acknowledgement, recognition for as a nation, as a government. So today, as they gather here to sign this historical document, it's a good step forward for Métis Nation.
I wish our audience could see the front end table over there where all the signatories are right now. There's you can see Glenn McCallum there. You can also see Leonard Mogran. You can see Marlene Hansen. You could also see Lee Courier standing over there, sitting down. They're all sitting down right now, getting ready to do another signing. By the looks of it, mi gusto may guti matuyap, wag guta may matuyap sige guti sa Lug Diesel, Turner Lake. You can see the Turner Lake representatives there as well.
Yeah, so I no there are see Dene Loganat Daisy Dandanos in your Leonard Mon Grand Glenn McCollum Key Suchuk the Dana Health at Dow Kelly Kwan Marlene Hansen Ku Jaresh Cheo St. George's Hill Bear Creek Torling goes in Dananat did doing the day. So Gani this morning at the document signed before that's in Dales and then Betayu at now it's publicly. So official announcement John I called it that the Lama Shihol is the impact benefit agreement Torliund region 2 not there. So it is and all it in that is mostly the Dana Sutlin not the coach shows and the Marlene and Aida Hilas und also Nesse Dana Sutlin and not the so Nezula don't do a drama she holding see the historical document that the la ku Tony Sigayan Tila and suicidal addiction condition bas and two programs at the Alia Lisi and then CEO of Next Gen Lee Curry Hulye the two at the ni base then baba that ilondala right the two at the Olidani then see could really do the two exceptional outcome kadana town is on the best operating ways on to the develop all yao lisi responsible resource development henila na to and ni basa doing now it's a deal on the sun that to the then I go through then it training or school not de basa had you see a tiga ho on the sun then ila da Fort McMurray kondisen la katsa dele the maybe thanesh and lo to konti sieti more than just construction labor jobs maybe engineers who don't do then it's and maybe two lawyers who social workers who konti see base over 2,000 post-secondary students at the Métis Nation then a school not did then a go to So another tebet or aha dealer impact benefit agreement dunja Saskatoon signal. Yeah, Robert.
La merci. Well, sa nos po gagi sa pigis ko. We anos po gagi sa pigis ko at kahiyo gunan the Dene Nation egutiyo magaya ya kan tuktago ako. O panso anak mi naging tuktago no is mi guanso mamagay wag kino guaya. Kahiyo magan tukto yak mi guanso man ti mi guanso matwi po go manigan. Ni matwi nigan na patsige gutiyo sa northern region number 2 sigwas simin ko tagagunigani wak next gen nego Timothy Puaga ya Lee Courier igwas to President Glenn McCallum Leonard Moncran igwas to Marlene Hansen Kelly Kwan igunigan tagagan gimwem tinagwes stawima oge with the flaps kusmina Antoinette Lamege gutipa hamina matwea po Ewa matsio nagi ogan sigo we get to sigi wak sige tutino na nitihta mano ma kanga pigis kwano mayo pisa matsio is tamitsunano wen to sigo is pigo agan tuhtawano Joseph Deserlight taga kito sigit uta ya Joseph migo choma ega kito sigit migo muisa sisa mapuna kami gakya Wando temehtek uti Saskatoon o saga tapia kana sumagagi saga. Kitiga sui pahutina John Lajumudi.
Because all that artwork is trademarked or whatever, and we cannot publicly air those pictures. So if you could please delete or that'd be very much appreciated. And with that, folks, enjoy your meal and have a great week.
It's Sunan winning. Enjoy your meal to you.
Enjoy your meal.
Well, Willis, what should we do? Should we go and eat?
Thank you very much, John.
Bit of a break too here. We'll take a little bit of a break and send it back to our studio in La Crosse, or we can listen to Joseph digitally. Let's see. Send me a text, Lindy. What do you want to do? Do you want to listen to Joseph, or do you want to go back to our air time from Isla Crosse? Okay, well, no, Willis is going to do some work too, Willis, and I can do some work too. So we can invite our guests. You can invite your guests, and I'll invite my guests.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we'll do. How about that's a good plan, buddy?
Yeah.
Right on. When Willis is doing his interviews, Niego, I'll prepare to do mine. I'll get some guests together as well.
Yeah.
That is a good plan.
Matsita pui hi nezu
Okay, let's send it over to Joseph.
Cree Mitchiffer with ala you're doing zinige. So he done away I don't know login out Daisy maybe Facebook or I know Telas tourism local channel gadit but Dene kanus tau dana halio studio say interviews not Daisy Donal Daneda pictures Nadal and of course Saboy Emil Janvier Edu Bahalias Tidio on la Holai dot Sinunt Ade massive and as Métis Nation of Saskatchewan Denedit I don't see but on the la Emil Bahalias Tio and then probably Keith and Dylan O'Nara, it's in St. George's Hill, Michelle Village, I do believe. I line up over slow. So stay tuned. Salot in a June Zineke, I may tea Helinsi Nenoba Dion the Sun Noas can do. And one of the important things too, Ani Thelis Lienju Regina Nahit Asner Tisse may tea could dinner Bergan. Tot ineban lai helion de la so may T helion de san dinner a sign up citizenship is a card bond T is ya say yao so no has canu to the treaty who de status Métis basé et sur sare, the another house a dion de sandre the donna da la machiholien the donna hodila another but unra hodila I then a godun has cano da not desi. So stay tuned. Then Bahalde was too and then we'll come back live here. And then Robert, and Cream Mitchiff, he's going to have some guests come on, and we'll come back on here in a few minutes. So I lacrosse, I know you're on there right now. If you want to take a break, it's up to you. But we're live here, Dene Yati podcast. You can tune in anytime, YouTube, Facebook, and thank you for joining us.
Kita pon ta pui pugone mamis ko sui pinagana no tano sa mamigo at suma. Tunataga kaya misat nano na tiyo e we check a break e check. E when yes picture is tamen to na wawa we go tatapipigis ko atak. E go mayo e wap magaw e go tangawasta hamo o tapipigis ko aset. Away gini here with Glenn McCallum yes wap makmigo sa mananto ta matamatwina ni pa o pa. Magamit chato po go tamigo at suma. Break tsaka tiyo break tayo kawin nagitam tat mamo po isko mayo kisa kami kasi ako te wana ni stamina ya napapamot na okay sino ano sa magagisiga historical to iwago masigning mamis kon wapa tinan malipapian ma ano sa magagisiga kitiwa po ipatsi ko ni stamina ya atuwa wapa tino maya yewan man mamasnahi ganan maga agi masnaha ko ipi huya no manista tapimigo ya newan mamayo pimigo ya newan mamasnegan newan na ya katsumustat na o tadal radio an magichinatsan matansi tastigan mewa matans tansimination stokta ko tansimination stokta man an mamasnegan agitas negatik miwats michat na no an papamega po agi hatsumustato seguta Igual gisiga gano sa magagisiga tiwit nok tike matuigos ko ni gutyo tama gani po yan es pemiko mo ma gani po yan may kitapah tamana ma so kitso ano masipiyo ma miwaso may kitapah taman igual ya nos po igos ko tamas kamagaya le blumina ya snagon namiugiwi pa ini tuwa po ano sa magagisiga kung yatas ko tagos Ego ka pimagi siga ka wa wis pimagi siga ego suskota pui pugana ka radio mahtumati Lindy dansa na good morning Lindy dansa hello Lindy how are you dansa toya there you are how dansa okay what's the magi pitatan yes I can pitatan pues okay let's we'll take a break so so Amaga.
Alrighty, good morning once again. Salot in a direct. I see Keith Suchuk. No halya se salonta that a couple of questions. Keith, President Local 39 halyon dalayer and Telas Tua Nihulzage ya it's in Keith Atlanta.
Thank you very much for having me on your podcast. I'm very, very excited to be here today and very proud. You only got one headset?
Yeah, we've
Okay.
only got one, but we'll get Leonard Mongran after. But Keith, what does this mean for local number 39 in La Loche area for this impact benefit agreement?
You know, if I could just give a brief history of how we kind of got here today. You know, looking back in our history of Métis Local 39, when I was a young man growing up in La Loche, when I thought of Local 39, right away everybody thought of Armin Murray.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what he helped keep that Métis name, the Métis society, the Métis nation. He helped keep that alive in our community, along with Pio, Fernan, a lot of these old guys that were no longer with us,
Yeah.
like Pio and Armin. I always like to recognize these people that helped get us to where we are today. These previous leaders really stood up for our rights and our Section 35 rights, which weren't recognized back then.
Yeah.
Now today, with the federal government recognizing our Section 35 rights and being able to speak the words reconciliation, and reconciliation means a lot to our Métis nation. And part of that reconciliation is trying to work with industry to so our communities can get the impacts.
Yeah.
The benefits from the impacts.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason behind this. You know, Next Gen and many, many other companies are in our backyard doing exploration. The provincial government provides all these permits, and things were going on so much in our backyard that we as a nation and as a local 39, we wanted to be able to engage with these companies so we could further enhance maybe training for our people, maybe get some jobs. That's how it kind of started. And through our negotiations, we realized that our local 39 did not have capacity. We didn't have an office. We didn't have pens and paper. We didn't have a fax machine. We didn't have a lot of things.
Yeah.
All it was basically a title on paper at the very beginning, you know, and we wanted to make change, and we still want to make change. We're still fighting for a lot of things in our rights. But what this agreement does for us is, how do I say it? I just want to make sure I get the right word. A lot of people don't know that listening, we're surrounded by a lot of people here, and losing my train of thought. But basically, we did not have capacity to be able to move forward in the right way. We didn't have legal advice. We didn't have a lot of these things were new. We understood what happened to us with Clough Lake. We learned a lot with what happened with the oil sand quest. So with those two things that were in our past, and those were our past relationships with industry and how they treated us. And we really felt that it wasn't fair. Things weren't done right with the government and how they handled all that. So we needed to get capacity to be able to negotiate, to be able to sit down, engage with these companies. And that's when I asked Leonard Montgrant, our regional area director, to help get some capacity for our local. And we talked about getting all of our 7 locals within Northern Region 2 together to unify our voice so we could approach industry as a unified voice, as opposed to each local individually trying to negotiate with industry for our locals' behalf. So that made our voice stronger when we unified. It was the La Loche, Buffalo Narrows, St. George, Michelle Village, Black Point, Bear Creek, and Turner Lake. Those are the 7 communities that represent Northern Region 2. And with that, with the guidance of Leonard and the help of the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, they were able to give us or help us with some lawyers, legal capacity, and we began negotiations about 4 years ago.
You know, a lot of things there I can attest to. Mr. Leonard Mongran is unifying. He's a good man. You know, he's here with me. He's going to join us. But one of the things the CEO of NextGen talked about was the environmental impacts. I know a lot of people know Hanenets, and they're going to be talking about the environmental impacts, that it's how it's going to affect the Nihya Tates. And in this impact agreement, how much of the focus was put into the environment, and how everything is going to be monitored?
You know, that was one of the main issues, not only for myself, but for many of the local presidents, was how do we protect our environment when industry comes in? Because we've seen what they've done in the past with Clough Lake and even with Oil Sands Quest, and how things were handled and in the past. So one of the things that we really strongly pushed for was having a third-party environmental monitor, because we didn't want industry to have their own monitors for the environment, and whatever they say, that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have MNS helping us provide those third-party environmental monitors
Mm-hmm.
that helped us negotiate. So we have people that would come from our own communities, people that we could hire, that we could trust, that we could train, that would be then able to give us reports
Yeah.
of how the environment is changing or
Mhm.
what's going on. We do have a baseline study that's occurring right now, so we can use that as we move forward every 5-10 years. We could use that baseline study to see what effects are happening within our environment.
Yeah.
It's very, very crucial to help find that balance with industry, our culture, our heritage, identifying certain areas in that where berry picking might occur, hunting, fishing. All these things were brought into light during these negotiations.
Yeah, and that's another is I'm sure it's going to be a part of it. You know, a lot of people hunting utananadal zeo that isik and desi maybe tabin to all the fish the moose, they're going to be monitored. You know, if they take meat, are they going to?
Yes, that's part of the third party environmental monitoring process, where they're actually going to sample moose meat. They will sample berries. There's a centralized office. I'm not too sure exactly where it is as we speak,
Yeah.
but there is a place where the testing will take place
Okay.
and the results will be given to our people. And you know, if we do find something, we have committees in place that sit with NextGen that will oversee, and we'll have elders involved as well.
Yeah. You know, good stuff. And, one of the things too with an impact benefit agreement, of course, there's money, but what kind of other opportunities, education, training?
You know, we don't want to use the word jobs anymore. We want to use the word careers.
Careers, yeah.
Because when we're this IBA agreement is really not going to take effect really in about 6 years from now. Because right now they're still in the EA phase, which is the environmental assessment phase,
Mhm.
which could take about another 15, 16 months. Once they issue the license from the federal government, then they're going to go into a 1,000-man construction phase.
Okay.
So there's going to be a 4-year construction phase. After that construction phase is done, then they're going to start producing uranium, and then that's where the, the the bulk end of the benefits will start coming in.
Mm.
I don't know if I'll be around the table. Whatever leaders are around the table 6 years from now,
Yeah.
they can make those decisions. So today we're helping to build that foundation and put all the stuff in place so we could have future finances that are going to help us.
Yeah.
We've also have a legacy fund, which is talked and discussed about for future generations, where nobody could spend that money as it comes in. It's there for future generations to decide.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of good stuff. Kisi Neza Masi Nova, for a lot of good things. You went from just a title to now you have, you're part of an organization with the government of Métis Nation of Saskatchewan. So I'm very happy for you, and Masi to be able to sit here with me, and we're going to go over to Leonard here. So
well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your Dene podcast and how you you really help keep our heritage alive with your Dene speaking.
mhm.
I myself have a Dene father and an English mother, so I'm kind of a Chipquensky.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
call myself a Chipquensky. I could speak a little bit of English, a little bit of Dene, and throw them
Yeah,
in there,
yeah.
but I totally understand full Dene.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I speak it, I may not speak it the way it sounds right for
Yeah.
me.
There's no right or wrong way though.
Dene sarit are o yaza.
Yeah.
Dene as tire o shaza kole. Yaza de mistake it sire. Arrest mercy, Cho. But if
Mercy.
there's any other thing I could add, in the future, if you want to talk more about this, I certainly definitely would like to get more into detail
Yeah.
because, we have jobs, training, opportunities. This is for our future. This is for our youth. And right now, we're just building the foundation. It's so exciting to be a part of this because
Mhm.
with our Métis government moving so fast and making deals with our federal government, it's our provincial government that we're still fighting in
Yeah.
reality, but our federal government totally recognizes our Section 35 rights.
Yeah.
And, we still have our litigations with our provincial governments, with the Saskatchewan First Act and all that. But that's another big, different issue. And
Yeah.
right now, I'd like to just say thank you. I'm very proud on behalf of our citizens. I'm very proud on behalf of our region that we were able to, after 4 long years, be able to negotiate. We've had so many highs and lows. Many times we walked away from the table when we thought things weren't right. And we stood up for our Section 35 rights as Métis citizens. And I'm very proud to say that this agreement is one of the biggest agreements in all of Canada. And that really starts overwhelming for me when you really think about it. In all of Canada, this is one of the biggest agreements that we've negotiated on behalf of Métis citizens of our region. And we need to be proud of that because the Métis Nation now is telling us that we are going to be a template for the rest of the province when it comes to industry and how to approach industry
Yeah.
with a unified voice and how we were able to accomplish what we've accomplished.
Mhm.
There's so many other things I could talk about, like I said, but I'll let Leonard Montgrand touch upon those things. He's our area director, and I'm very proud to be a part of our regional team and also very proud to have Leonard Montgrand as our regional area director. He really helped unify our locals and bring us a unified voice in accomplishing what we've accomplished today. Thank you.
Masi Ki
So
Suchak.
I'll introduce Mr. Leonard Montgrand.
Ki Suchak Adela da se yazan ohal yain tie that u lama shi hol ne baga yain tie si da du DNN who there henilat I baganats in daisy der lama shi hol ne so Doen zinek Mr. Leonard Montgrand no hal hunthat dala yan se the impact benefit agreement boss in Ohio. Leonard, how's it going? How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm good. So, as area director of region 2,
Oh, yeah.
what does this mean here? You've been part of a Métis Nation, a part of a lot of things too. I think it needs to be underlined what you actually do and bring for everybody in the north. And I'm really happy to watch you be acknowledged today. But tell us what it means going forward with this impact benefit agreement.
I think for the community lost to speak on their behalf. I mean, we've been through so much, Willis, in our communities, not only Laloche, but Buffalo and Arrows, the smaller communities. Some of them are ridden with addictions and violent crimes and so forth, so forth. But one of the things I stress on people, like the wildfires that we had or surrounding the communities of Laloche and Buffalo. I know we had a hard struggle, hard to beat people, but when you don't have capacity or dollars, you can't really do anything for these communities unless you have sustainable opportunities for funding. And that's the thing that I look at is for people to be able to proceed forward in a normal way. Like Emile Janvier said today, our elders, and it's true, they have to hitchhike to get their medical appointments. Just think of it this way. What do I do? Do I go to my medical appointment, my radiologist checking for cancer? Or do I stay home and pay my utility and my home rent and that? What do you do? There's only common sense, and no offense to my First Nations brothers and sisters, but they have to also understand the federal government has to be able to chip in and so we can proceed forward in a good, positive manner. Like especially our elders, they're hardest hit. With the ones the ones that are not treaty, that are Métis, they're having a struggle, and I can only imagine
Yeah.
how long the struggle has been going on. But just look at this. I've led our communities through COVID, wildfires, school shooting, all this stuff that happens in La Lodge. And to me, at times, it's screaming at us, help us, fix us. The suicides, so forth. The communities, we all suffer. This isn't, I don't care what anybody says. It's not just about the money, but money sure helps move projects forward. Money sure helps ensure that we have the funding available to help our young people to even the NA games. First time MNS is sending kids to the NA games, and we're not bumming off the backs of our First Nations brothers and sisters. We're actually doing it alone, and that's very promising. There's so many benefits out there to being a Métis now. There's the RAP grant, the emergency repair grant, up to 40,000. And then, there's other programs and grants. First time home buyer program. We give up to $17,500 to citizens in our region that need help. Funeral costs, we give $2,500 for Métis card carrying members or families during a time of crisis, during funerals. It's expensive. And we try to assist low income earners and people that have limited income, like old age pensioners. So these are our target areas, and we move forward. And as we do, we'll build capacity. We're already discussing getting a building in La Loche, a sub office. We are going to build a regional office in Buffalo Narrows. That'll be a huge $3 million project somewhere around there. And also, we're looking at bringing forth the level care, level 1, 2 care for old folks, so that we're able to look after them. And we want to put them in Buffalo. It's central. And also the fact is, it's level 1 to 2 care homes that we have. We don't have anything in La Loche or Buffalo. Look, you drive by Canwood, a community of 200 people. They have a 20-page, 20 spot for invalid people or people that are, having a hard time maintaining a good style of life. Like we gotta remember, like I don't feel comfortable driving all the way to Big River or to Canwood or wherever to visit my relative. People, it's just like they're forgotten. I don't worry about them now. They're in an old folks home. I'm going to be there one day too, and I want to try to do something now to ensure that our members can, the amount of money we get off the pop here is not huge. It's not a huge amount in reality, but it'll help us move forward. I'd like to see a subsidy payment back to our members. I think that's really important for our members. Our citizens have been so quiet and forgotten about, but now we've created that spark. Now we start to see people coming up and testing the waters. Like our navigator worker out of Buffalo Narrows, Liz Shorty. She does the application process to help people that are in need, that are going to be homeless. And the same with Jenna Nichols. She's our next gen coordinator. They're doing good work, but we've got to move together in unison, not just one community. It's got to be all the communities. And that's where I come in. I have the unique ability to belong to two communities. I was born and raised in Buffalo Narrows, and I'm spending 25 years now in La Loche coming up. And I live in two worlds, and those two big worlds that people trust me in the community of Buffalo Narrows to get the best deal they can, because previously it was either one community fighting over another thing with another community. And that's got to stop. We've got to work together, build our future together, build infrastructure. We need that, very important in our communities, and bring employment opportunities, training, and also on top of that, ensure that our contractors are not forgotten. I know there's a lot of contractors out there that it's hard fighting for that dollar, right? And the prices of everything is going up. It's crazy. The power bill alone in your home. My power bill was, I was just paying $300 was an estimate a month. I got the bill. I was shocked, $1,300 for a power bill. How the hell can our elders afford this, or people that have no income? I mean, that's a recipe for disaster, because these people have nowhere to go if they get evicted, if they can't pay their power bill or their rent. So that boils down to very important things. We're targeting people that need the necessities of life, that need help. Those are the ones we're targeting. We're not targeting people that are middle income earners, but they can still participate. I know there's people out there that have gotten the mortgage lending out to them for that $17,500. I push people towards that, because everyone should be a homeowner in the La Loche and Buffalo and the smaller locals. Everyone should be a homeowner. You shouldn't have to be paying rent for 30 years of your life and getting nothing at the end of the day but a thank you. And now it's time for you to get the hell out of my house or my apartment. Or we want to quit that. Like in La Loche, we built those tiny homes. That was instrumental, and same with the RTMs we had put forward. They helped a lot of people, and that's the problem. And we're not putting one community against another in terms of housing. But I'll tell you this, La Loche is on the list. They probably have 200 and some people on the list waiting to find a place to live. And that's saddening.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. I know, you know, as registered with Clearwater, if I wanted to move home, I can't do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm from La Loche too. I mean, it's not going to be. I'm not going to be comfortable living with my mother or something. You know what I mean? I'm going to want my own space. And there's more people way ahead of me that have been waiting a long
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
That's very important.
It's hard to bring people back to our community. We don't have rental spaces. We're
Even a hotel.
Hotel, it's another project we're working on for La Loche. But these things all take money and time and politicking, getting people on board and that. So that's the hardest part. But do you know, even like a level 1, 2 care home, I've met with the province, they won't give any money for it. They tell people you got to treat it as a business. And that's, it's pretty hard with the cost of living as it is in the north. It's almost a stupid answer. Like we got level 3, 4 care homes in La Loche and long term, but nothing for the level 1, 2 care homes. The people that need daily help, but they're not too bad off.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. But man, it saddens me how many people I've had to turn away just to make it to their trip or to have a medical travel expense claim for them. I hate saying no to people. People know me. I try the best for their communities, best for their citizens and everything. But there's just times when you either have to reach in my own pocket and help people out get to their appointments. And that shouldn't be like that. With the money that'll be flowing soon, we should be able to change the direction and have strong social change in our communities so that people can say with pride that they're Métis.
Yeah. Leonard, a lot of good things for the resources, the development of Clearwater, Clear Lake, but, that doesn't go anywhere without everybody, having a strong foundation. You've been in La Loche 25 years. I used to work for you, probably the best employee at the Friendship Center back in the day. But
your impression's still on the couch there, Willis.
but things are a lot different then than now. The Métis have been fighting for recognition and acknowledgement, and even to mention the Alicross Residential School too. So all these things, within the last decade or so, the foundation has been growing, getting stronger. What does that mean for everybody and, its Métis citizens?
Well, I think we now have the ability to assist our clients, to assist our Métis members. We have that ability now. We're not left out in the cold in terms of, turning away people to go to their appointments. It shouldn't be something that happens within our community. Like an elder is, 65 by social assistance or 60, sorry. And they go on a fixed income, for example, one gets $2,200 a month. Then they take taxes off of it and whatever. So they get probably about $1,800 a month. That $1,800 is not enough to pay your land taxes, to pay your insurance, to pay your power, to pay your sewer and water, and the list goes on. And you can't even afford to do the upkeep on your house. We've got a program out there to help people, but we need to at times get rid of all the bureaucratic red tape that we have. Man, it's just frustrating when there's a woman there, her furnace quit and she's minus 40 weather and they want her to fill out 10 pages of paper. Well, what is an ERP? It's an emergency repair program. Emergency. When your grandma or your mom or somebody has no furnace, it's 40 below in their house, they're running a heater, and what do we do when they're old age pensioners? We turn away from them, or just simply say we can't help you. I want to change that. Oh, it's a long, long battle to make these changes that should have been done a long time ago. For all these communities within the region, it's hard to pull everybody together to fight for the same cause, but I think we've done a good job here with the Northern Region too. This is the first time in a history of a life in Buffalo Narrows and La Loche and the surrounding communities that we're able to see that we can do things for our people, that we can make positive change. And that's what we'll work to. Even for example, the medical trips. Right now, we're looking at getting vans to transport our elders out from the communities, and a booking agent. We're trying to look at that, but it costs money to do all this stuff, and it can't only be the MNS, and it can't only be the Region 2. It has to be the province, and it has to be the federal government that's willing to assist in these programs. It's crazy, like the things that go on, trying to day-to-day operations and trying to ensure everybody's covered. Even I don't know how to say this, but it saddens me and it angers me at the same time when somebody calls me and says, Leonard, I'm going to get kicked out of my house, or Leonard, I can't pay the rent, or I need money for my pills or my medicine, I can't afford it. Like these are serious, they're sad situations when people come to my office and ask for that, and I have to turn them away. So that we're going to work on. It's this. This is just 4 years, the first start of the IBA with NextGen. So now we're targeting employment opportunities for people. We're targeting contractors to be able to come out and do contractual work. And I know that there's already infighting amongst contractors that we're not getting our fair share. We should be getting this, getting that. Well, we want to work to building I guess I'd call it an organization with all the presidents in there, an economic development corporation, an LLP, so that we can start looking at investing our money, putting it in a legacy fund, investing some dollars into economic development for our communities. But it's going to be a long battle. Like when we come back that 4 years after, as soon as the mine starts milling, and that's when everything starts moving forward. The smelter rate climbs up. I don't know if people understand that, but it's basically uranium ore that we have. It's a very good grade of uranium ore. It has very low amounts of caustic chemicals and acid. It's really easy to mine, and the footprint on the community and the wilderness is very minimal. So that's why we're in agreement with it. And we're the last ones to sign off on an IBA. Clearwater has done theirs already. See,
Birch
Birch
Narrows.
Narrows and Buffalo River Dene Nation have all signed their agreements. But I think for our region and for our community, I think we got by pretty good kick of the cat here when we signed our IBA. I think it's really beneficial.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there, Leonard. I'm happy for you.
Thank you,
Good
my
to
friend.
see, Leonard. You've done a lot of good work. It's and you still have a lot of black hairs, and that's good to acknowledge.
I thank my friend Lester Horse,
Yeah,
our elder out there, for all the hair dye that he's loaned me throughout the
yeah,
years.
yeah. You had to
Appreciate
borrow
it.
it from him, eh?
Yeah, well, he's the main supplier in La Loche.
Yeah, yeah.
The northwest side.
Getting the black market of hair dye.
Yeah, hair for men. Call Lester Horse.
Yeah, give him a call there. Yeah. Well, Leonard, I want to thank you for joining me here this morning, and I look forward to the future, more events and more of this stuff. For allowing Dene Yati podcast to be here for the people back home. I know it's on Channel 8, I do believe. So a lot of people at home are listening to everything you say. They're probably wanting their power bill or something covered now.
Yeah, well, we'll work towards that. Like I said, the first thing we'll do out of the chute is have a board meeting and make some decisions. I don't know when the dollars will start flowing from NextGen side, but I think it's going to be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty quick.
Takes time, though. I think we all got to be patient.
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, it took us 4 years to get here where we're at today. And, that was when you could hear NextGen out there on the wind. Nobody knew what the hell NextGen was. And we thought, oh, no, not another oil sands quest company here where we're going to get screwed over and get nothing. But no, today NextGen is a reality. It's not a dream. It's a reality. And we're going to benefit and partner up with every opportunity we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things too, reality, you mention a lot of reality too when you're, explaining your situations, the elders dealing with this stuff, not to get too deep to it too, the effects of colonization, the residential schools, everything that was mentioned here, suicide, you talked about the shooting, all of these events that we've had to endure over the years now. Those are the effects of those things back then that we're trying to fix now as a collective going forward. And, it is money, like you said, it allows programs, people to go to schools, get educated, help out our own people.
I noticed that our people that sometimes they just want to be an obstacle. They don't want to help you proceed forward. And it's hard at times, but we just keep going. We can't please all the people all the time. We just do what we can as Métis citizens, as leaders. But I think at the end of the day, even the residential school, we're slowly working on it. I think we're getting closer and closer to reality on it.
Yeah.
I mean, we got our VP, Michelle Leclerc, working on it. And I think that it's going to be a good outcome. I think that we're going to move forward. And at the end of the day, we'll intertwine our region within that Alacross situation or residential school. So just be patient out there, people. Don't think that we have the money today. We have to wait for it. It has to come out to us. We have to sign off on it. It takes a little process, but as soon as we get that, I mean, we'll start looking at ways to to invest it or to use it. I mean, people got to realize if we have 1,000 Métis members, and 1,000, if we give each one $100, that's 100,000. If we give them 1,000 each, that's $1 million. You know,
gone.
it's gone just like that because but we have to be careful because the money that we get has to last us till the starting of the mining. But I will tell you this: we'll be opening employment and training offices in both La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, and we'll also be, getting that new building for Buffalo, which is very important. They need a new building in the community, and it's good. It's all good stuff, positive. I want to thank you, Willis, for allowing me to come on your podcast. I see you come a long ways and all your equipment and that. So it's expensive, but we need it. Our people need to know what's going on also.
Yeah.
Not just phoning me all the time and asking me what's going on. They have to be observant and listen and move forward.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And people can come in here and look back and listen and all that good stuff. So thank you for having
Yep.
me. You know, it's Métis Nation has been good to Dene Yati podcast to get this far. So thank you,
Yeah.
Leonard. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
I love you, Leonard.
Okay,
I love you.
Okay, that's a little.
That's enough. But we're gonna get Mr. Kelly Kwan in here, and
I'll see you tomorrow. Then.
yeah, we'll see you up north. Okay. Right behind you. So, salot in a Leonard Mongren Adila, lots of information right there from the president Métis, Kelly. Dene. So we're gonna go over to Dene now. Kelly Kwan Dene. Dene dit aondala. So no how huntat dalai bangayaltia, and then later on, I believe a mill, and I'm not sure if Robert Marasti, Dene halyal tiuto, but I'm gonna find out if he's got anyone lined up for people in Alacrosse or in the surrounding communities there. So, but Kelly Kwan is gonna join us at John Myron. Yeah, then Sana de Asun Nohal Deltio Lisi. Jartlis Haina Dalje. So once again, salut in a Dene Yati podcast or with Saskatoon, it's our center art museum, I do believe. Kelly Atlantic Kelly Kwan.
But the whole Willis Sabasini had the Métis agreement signed first time in history, the biggest economic signing of an agreement with an indigenous group. It makes me proud to be a Dene Ziniga.
Nezun. Blessings in President Leon.
Métis local. I think Turner Lake has a Métis local 40 president this thing.
Okay. So your Métis local 40 clouds, I know it as a collective on the Sandre, it's the Lamashi Holinsi. Kunan and Nenoha, then not there, then a Suslino Métis tennis and Bayaz, then a cloud, the Lisana Yadu.
Well, and is it no halanta no tiasi kanata deosa, Allah it's a question. I envied First Nation lantasa. It's a question 11 years old, treaty kids hockey equipment babarasya ha. We're looking at them, envying, It's a whole school, residential school, not the Yella Boval, because I was in treaty with the Aberdeen, just out of Saskatoon, an all white school night there. Whole Danosne, the whole Métis Daniel's case, it's in 1984 to 86, Banastila, 16, the Banastila, Daniel's case recognized Métis under Section 35 as indigenous rights, we're finally getting what we deserve, I'm Métis because one of my grandparents were First Nations, Yeah, we should have been treated the same. Yeah, the whole disagreement. Let me show it. The whole 4 years because I did. Another, no, the mining company, Next Gen, uranium don't answer. The fourth highest grade, 153 kilometers from our back steps. Impact communities that deep, and all the ones that are in the area, Lalage, Turner Lake, Buffalo, three First Nations, Clearwater, Birch Narrows, and Dillon, and also, yeah, the 7 Métis communities. We're all going to be impacted. Yeah, Samba tle, Samba royalties, jobs and employment on the sea, Bazi, Dairy Tlesang, Kalamishi, Nuhneons in a traditional Métis territory as a sea, Huchu, and these companies, Clough Lake, another Samba Hill Chu, Nuchasna Bat Delona, and they left us a big mess. Don't their company Next Gen, don't their company they want to learn about who we are, our culture. They respect us as rights bearing people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're setting the bar, a template for other companies that do. If they want to do, they should come to the people first, especially the indigenous community, First Nations and Métis Bazi,
Mm-hmm.
before they start doing anything, because it affects, they're disrupting our land, tearing into Mother Earth and our way of life. And a lot of times they left us stuff. But these guys, they want to see how that no need that was see how that was sick and that day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really exciting historical moment, and it's a good time to be Métis. And some of the stuff that First Nations have, we're gonna get there, and and sometimes I think if we ever sign a Métis treaty, we can have exactly what the First Nations already have.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good day to be Dennis Uslino, Delaya Dunzinik, Donald Ni Base ein Tig ani as a currently let it Clough Lake, Tamba Hill Chuna, Delu, I know to Gani Thela Shu Monitoralio. Could there fresh on going forward there over the next 30-35 years, begin that's a dela ni base dante bagayanti.
But is everything. The land is everything. It's our culture. It's our way of life. It's Mother Earth gives us everything, and we can't just take from her. We got to give back to in our indigenous way. All there's top guy in Next Gen Vancouver. Leo Rondi. Chorus line said, "Samba denaba bathero." Samba that makes the world go around. But we have to do it in indigenous way. We can't always give, take from Mother Earth, but we also have to give back. What do we give back? Mother Earth, Mother Earth really takes care of us, and as indigenous people, you know, as Mother Earth takes care of us. As indigenous people, we always believed in using Mother Earth. She provides us with everything. But what do we give back to her? If we don't give nothing back to her, Mother Earth, no halyas tila, don't on the weather, don't global warming, that the Mother Earth trying to tell us something, that we need to start taking care, doing it right. And they're a company, no hanin daily. Good lads no doors, Kuro, Tlantu Sigan out there, Tlantu Deno, Susino, and now Tlantu Ni no Bathero, Tlantu Alia without minimal damage, minimal impact on the environment. And there's the first time, that a company ever came to us. They never went to the province. They came to the people, and that's the biggest step, I think. I'm kind of disappointed with the provincial government. They're gonna get a lot of royalties, billions of dollars royalties over the lifetime, and they have an obligation. Tulu the Highway 155 on the. All these times we fight, they're trying to improve that. Our vehicles, by the time it's paid off, it's not worth anything because the roads are so bad. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the province realizes that, hey, they're taking our money and they're running, and they use it for programs of services in the South, so class
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
See, if I was exploiting people, I at least give them enough to keep them quiet.
Yeah.
And then the southern people sometimes view us as a tax burden.
Yeah.
Just program, service, infrastructure, roads. Yeah, it's a good day today because the somebody who here we can address a lot of our issues, like homelessness and you
Yeah.
name it,
Yeah, and Gani, one more thing, Tundan, then I know Myron Bahaliastia, but some badant ilon the sun called Keith Kodila, in this around maybe a decade or more, 10, Nezika title the Hinant any. If you're part of Métis office, they do do, then Sanin de la do do, could do it or Sanatin de la, don't you see a beginats a deha, Tulu, good point. Could do a tea sala. Could I see a 9 I see infrastructure to Luhotla Selia. Gutland at Theo Condinane Strela. But Métis Nation at Sanit in Delut Contu to be acknowledged, Bekanat Deha, Nezuana Stanners.
See, everything is about the votes in politics for the province. There's not enough of us up there to make a difference. So we just like it doesn't matter to them. And no samba, ay ada nala. And the sooner they start making those connections, their SAS first act was sabastila, they want to assume control and rights over the land and resources. No need to. No, the First Nations and Métis, and would not be such a more powerful thing if they would have taken to the federal government. The government wouldn't have said nothing if we had all these indigenous signatures and supporting last party in terms of Saskatchewan first. But to exclude the indigenous community was their biggest mistake, And no disrespect against our MLA, Jim needs to, when he should have stood up and went against it as an indigenous person and went against his party, but he didn't. But that's a different story. But like I said, we're gonna focus on what we're gonna do now. We built a good partnership with Next Gen Nestano. Another, especially when that mine opens up, like getting ready and setting up camp and getting everything ready. By if that thing ever starts production, we're going to have some resources to build our capacity at the community, at the local levels. Our mate MNS Koli, don't paint us all with the same brush as Métis. We're all Métis, but north of the Green Lake, the NAD line, we're different. Thank you. Yeah, we have a direct correlation and connection to the land. It's our life. It's everything we are, our culture. But when if they, and we're closer. Our locals, our region are so close. We're all family, and we're sure we have disagreements, but we work together. In the south, you see all these little locals who are fighting each other. We have disagreements, but we come up respectfully.
Yeah. Nazu Kelly doon zinage ayerts in about questions that you must see no sin all basines and that they're sick and out days.
Marcia Willis, me too, cities. I'm really proud of you for doing this stuff since you started. It's a really good platform to get our message from the Dennis out to our people. No neonly we can now chart our own future. This dependency and waiting on government, even sometimes MNS, those days are going to be gone. We're going to have the capacity, the resources to create our own programs, our own infrastructure, our own capacity at our local level, so we can dictate our own future instead of having a dependency on others. It's an historical day. Marcy and God bless you, and I'm real proud of you too.
Hey, Marcy Sinesa.
Yeah.
Doing zinige salot in it. I know halun tadelt is it. Think Taylor's tours in ask as I know it's salot in a Leondi Myron Janvier. No how they answer. So salun tada. I believe it's gonna be the last one. John Titzing Taylor. So Myron Métis citizen had Leondela. Maybe President Leonto, but Myron had done it. Und Nazu Glant John Saskatoon Zinek any Yaza.
I think you need ya early on ya. Way other way around with the chanty la
Oh yeah.
on the west side.
Yeah.
But on the east side, China later door or the door ya.
Ku ja Métis citizen le sa ya ni ya sa.
Ah,
I had invited ni ya ja. Tlani then der is sign al yasi und don't usi lender yang tila no habanunt a lila nia don't eat and the nail no helio no herdare du no ba hotela new condisi ne zonda sa meti can adia but der is a sign al yana batla hoti.
Sabanese first time I know the history of Canada, like I'm saying something like this. Before we always struggled, eh?
Mhm.
Doing they probably would get a better future
Mhm.
for our young generation.
Mhm.
How the Métis board get hit down, yeah, for the last few years, eh?
Oh, okay.
This is my third term,
Mhm.
so I was expecting this line. The different meetings, yeah, today.
Mhm.
Joint working group meeting, and that itin ya today done, yeah, you get a hit done, yeah. So you see, I think I negotiating the day, but don't do it, like I mean, it's something for the future.
Mhm.
It's good
Mhm.
that before they were ran no tough lake, I would never had nobody sat down with nobody in the community. Yeah, everything was just south of us.
Yeah.
Good doing they hunt ila like I mean everything is negotiated and it I hunt go yao. Good next one day the vision only day happiness and a day doing the that undu halji court only in leon lahot could doing the court had no halda next you lila business and could do because kador yard with another could hot today not in yes I see could so doing vision or directing no halda next or lila to instead of court I lo at a home I had said shit I ba don e hel na ni koda so I don't know I said I know there has seen no her negotiator and they do no at say she deal her son
Mhm. Yeah.
I your aunt and there's one chat on her no pa
Mhm.
oh na she there as soon as I
Yeah, Nazu, one of the things Denadoras currently boss, not Zethio.
lie because it
Yeah.
cabin the hoodie as a family my dad was over there for I don't know Satan is a whole back in the day statistics not back in the early days actually because it done did the anything
That's young, yeah, actually.
actually it's about 80 kilometers or some I mean 80 miles and then to the west
Mm.
you go now done did the anything so that's I was gonna see the it is a hit that I hand your actually statistics not seen see I don't know those we see the hell no what no check
Okay. Yeah.
so I hook on now than they go now.
Mm.
Uh
Tani thought they, let's say, Patterson, Mirison, actually, let's see, Tani thought.
Patterson of the day, southwest not the lie actually.
Okay.
Uh
Tal twe.
uh
Twe Julian sa
uh
konti se banari yala dum baga ya tire dene ye cannot down the sa right kununi dene sulline dai link ani ertles ga ya eltine tolin goes in the triple ones is no whole tano who don't it dene on the la but tolin cannot a down the sa trap line so that a shani see dene na ta de tha hulla tani sa hayu hondi se right
yeah
koni se bek dail new boy di ha ai kon di ha o di on the sun do ni ka na dia
yeah at way good doing there at today and usio had in that no not go by do it the environmental nobody had doing the environmental base
no need. Okay, all the numbers is going to come back to us instead of just we government behind closed doors and do anything that happens.
Yeah.
Before we can't even get these numbers from these guys because good doing day it's got to come through us before the number is on the day that added the day. They got to look back into it because it's either us okay. Could had today let it be that all they didn't care about the environment.
Yeah. Kont Tough Lake hon disia Tough Lake de don't dana hon dia hosi.
I was soon lava but nas ni lessons a thousand I would see Nicola.
Yeah, but Zihun Leon the sound for sure. Meyer and board of directors getting down. See like enough dela. One last thing. Dene Ed die said don't udrek ani Leonard Yang theater medicals. Kundi see. I'll take on island is see. Kundi see boss a bit or nazula dre lamashi holding is see.
Yeah, I had today when they reserved like say First Nation better at the all you see a better data down la medical pass could do code near John only the code on else yeah no outside in the data in medical done hotel done coverage on the haba.
Yeah.
Good but today what are they doing then today you struggle already good doing they want Elijah I just want to some big difference
Eland Ailuch ahanye, then a bit at the Nezula. But Myron Massin and Astana Dunziniga Selhin Dad, Emil Janvi, Saboy, Mushjouts, Allianz, Yaltia, Dunziniga, no Ashna, that's Irago Torlink, but no Bassines under Lamashi Holy no help.
Citizen no hapa holding no ni no hapa you want no north no need the hino hapa let I work the hills for the whole north.
Then it I rail dinia.
Our next one day I hope they don't have to go through all this court. We should just sit down and negotiate.
Yeah. Nezu. All right. Well, must see no Meyer and maybe another day. We'll chat again. I know this weekend. Telas toys in Australia. So ni hultsage ya then how they astia maybe honni nets in a so I'm going to be recording then I not daisy dan or rest asne the sanat dela. So over the weekend, then a holiday as to recorded us clear that and so on you cook any acts late in here. Anutumber rest Allah, right? Okay, that's a day. It'd be good. Condi see honi a sanilja.
Well, I didn't. I'll show you. Okay, I'll look into those papers.
Yeah.
I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I need then see, it can be probably be treaty grounds and aster has a camera help so I then maybe ask if they want to go Tanta Bakuni South or whatever, however we can make it happen. Nezwana Stana do how we can know it's in Honyi because Treaty 8 died and Matthew and a lot of history there Dennis Uslin and Chippewans I don't know who Zini see and Nisa Konta. So Emil Janvir Nohal Huntata da so Myron another athlete in Adlinosa Mas senior or senior Yans Salhun Tatim da.
Okay, we'll see you until I tune in Jarego. Okay, we'll see you as well.
Masi. So, salot in it, I adorest see Facebook, YouTube, radio, Todok, see Myron Nohalyan to Kisu Chuck and Leonard Mogran, Kali Kwandi as a lot Salnoel Huntathim Dala, ye adding counts in Métis representative president Ted Linsan local 40, I do believe Henila. That denaha baka kanats in deolisi samba donadant il hailu kola but a lot of in the future base do resources, programs, training, and then key chako dila careers. La cuts it daily. Maybe construction labor auto. It's in daily. Layoff. Koni see bitch as it's a daily ha. Long term career, just like a der antna sal hunta Tha Mushjazen Alain Nala CP Rail, I do believe, maybe. Oh, okay, but Tha Emil Jan Fija camera, you can see him online. But yeah, Tila, so boy Emil, you asked the no by Tila, but Emil, I done it. Nezu masina na dunta sa hunta ike na dli yanti nezula. I've said this many times. No hayatia or lana na but or ao, and one of the things current medical coach ahan nide maybe nets in best chene ya hin tinda zandin yansa no hakrani.
Madela te, the Dene Yati, I see the door medical house school, the door now. At the home, Michigan at the Dejo medical, and said that deal. If my room not new, and the medical cutting yard, the lashing by Teddy. 150 gas and city. I think the medical nothing yard. With this, nothing true there, nothing yard. Not true there, maybe about a month ago. Check us on it true. The deal on that.
Yeah.
The other things, car, hotels a team, cars a team.
Yeah. Yeah, Nezuma or Nila, do hotel no hel yao Aurelia in tune doing zinik tenet under ala no ayatia yatia, and don't you see a basic and other you're a part of Métis Tha. Don't you see let me shoot and it's a desi, but Tha alain nala long time career, Tlat ya hot di dena ha der lamashi holye. Not just training one time ilu dena denis in maybe one time labor, but mine und ane long time career den alan na tlat ya hodin.
Well, at the school I did, CSC and TC. At the school I do, and at the school I did, education is all here. But the sense he did, the but education, look, I was not even see. Our in cool aren't all here. There's no lie.
It atha ala da der la nant ada hinilu,
And 1969, I moved shot a lot. Musha he deal 25 years in a liar. 25 years who anidu la lashi deal. So don't say snala.
Tasi alaina
Musha, Valley View Center earlier.
Zugana.
Then Satat then they don't need hunty. Early na course trade I then see electrician no plumbers out I see I liam. Yes, the nurses aid Harlem no. We do housekeeping, we do upholster, helper. Asilia reclassa, do can aster do upholsters all do not day. Head upholsters see. She's out on the like an aster do.
Yeah.
It does not see. And see a show on there.
Yeah.
Not have a barrel in there, a color see in there.
Yeah.
And see regarding there,
Mm.
education, I say education, most important thing in life.
Yeah.
Even in the Unaliala,
Mm.
when it's a fair anti, of course, in that anti, learning than see the long.
Mm. Ja, en zo'n nila den school not dede donc lado hunelo, you know, there programs or training base de LT long term hard diondela, you know, if we push no has cano that school not desi and registered at neha Métis Nation, right? Important like it's then a citizenship card. I mean, it's not just a card, but don't to be a part of all of this.
Don't you like you bet in the treaties, go treaty cards at Asiala,
Mm.
no need the what the hell. Nothing the lawyers are gonna dare no need the treaty. Kano hit say ha.
Yeah.
As long lawyers are gonna dare some banooning there la.
Mm.
Call it banoon the who no need me tea the treaties. Kano hit say ha.
Yeah. Yeah. Nezula, you know, I'm only 54 years. Die new don't you see ganat a de do kernila beganat a dela beganat a no banunt arila dinila, you know, the Métis Nation tenets a danila don't you see beganot deha, you know, for acknowledgement hot labaga altie tla hodina ba do, you know, dena denul ni lant ashini see, you know, against First Nations don't you see then hadal yere.
I see how that a danul nile. A danul nile, antiva danul ni see, Vaki yade net so ha. Where danul no. Si ganadre le dottoa, e ganadre le tantisi. Nel soela, tatladen karider nisa.
They're not there new.
You're tano hani yala tatla. You're karider ni. Nizade karidila.
Yeah.
Teru Rome, who
Yeah.
Toronto, who a couple months ago.
Yeah.
In New York City, they say New United Nations, Yativanita. Yatinatha Dene Yati, Yativaniri ala Nohayatia.
You know, see Nani, but yeah, Laxing Nano, it's in Dakota Dunes, into, you know, Torlium, see, but yeah, la Naya Tietlundit, and Bedrelion is not. Shum Bedril,
I see.
yeah, yeah.
Undelano Yatia very deal alone. Yati very thick, no cultural, very dealer.
Yeah, you know, and then as well in a died, matey, you know, Torlio, a salot in a died, we can't divide ourselves, you know, see hail on the la.
Government not her la, then not ile. Ni do a south, other hills to a south, sick and 18, won't own.
Yeah.
Co government and treaty union and make union, won't ye.
Yeah.
But I know her Asian.
Yeah.
Oh no, ni not a chatty deal until.
Yeah, yeah.
So a satellite do.
Yeah.
Won't out on the la.
Yeah, Nazu, you know, there occurs, you know, and nine other day, you know, ne neighbor banago ketchup to China lily her and kid duela. Go ahead, yeah, then other day, right? And Banarino, that's not. Say, ketchup that's you din la lash other day, right? And now they can't island la.
Lila,
Right?
Did it to
Yeah.
Lagade, who had said, as soon as I need to use not travel on it as a Tory Kahila.
Yeah, yeah. Test eight nets, you know, the DNA, right? You can't you know, that's not right. As Chahid daily.
Charity had to the USA shot then a day cleans.
Yeah.
Government no see. Don't you who see? Oh, what the hell, Andile?
Yeah, yeah.
A shot.
Already,
A
yeah.
shot that you. Ti could a shot deal and need to. What the hell on the la?
Yeah, you know the Tornik it's in el tidini la Métis Nation. I know duho en nain gala so mushchats and then you can under akosi.
Well, because I there on that 25 years it's in name. Do president in Linga Musha, local president, Mitiha. I a bit elders gather nunta aga information ka sa kasti niya tantu ya lisi.
Sige that's a dear.
So let's see, tantu elder. When I 55 I'm an elder. In the hotu I learned that and anta the tao nila.
Okay, yeah. Protocol. Then Atlanto hunzia ide. Zero dinner.
Zero diho hata hilsio ni hilsio nila.
Yeah. Who are
Chala need and that nila protocol.
Yeah, then Chala near.
Chala need and that
Yeah.
Nazula.
Yeah, you know, Corinne, don't you seek an astre nen orin nuto si oris nuto conte ho anle. One thing I've learned, ani narish kurla ansnet nila, you know, net yati hun tani sai, or banai nila. Do hon hiltio andi nila, and I think a very important Corinne, you know, then do ho duto do, you know, but I bet seeing we built from it. A side word, right? But betril aiha.
Undela no ni toka si hit in. Bezi hit si hanondela. Nisi kontu ya ondela. Konta ano ondela si dana tano hane karin there. Tot ina will abezi hit sin ye na sani labanane so 2 votes in. Hane karin there.
Yeah.
Ya tot ina.
Yeah.
Ano hala there jo. Yo pa huya. Beniri di hadua. Ati bezina filsu asida na usilie ni aundi na sali adelante startu.
Yeah, and Azula Varana he there I see it. Yeah, I see it then, yeah.
Si tana hu ya hu la ni si ni dilu. Ite anati bezina filsi ano di ko te ataiti. Tu gutse. Johanin ki ya totine usilie ano di na san.
Yeah. Hey, you know that's something. You know, the only see that it's like a puzzle, just like Tulu, right? No, Tulu don't. Kujanai there Tulu ho no jan tu hali no la. Good Tulu sung but real ala good Tulu la don't right? It's concrete.
Will you say about that deal? Real current. How do you say lake in Dene? Is it the two and tired to the corner to the arms?
Oh, lake in a cup.
Lake in a cup.
Too cho. I don't know. Maybe.
To the arms, you de la tuilu. To the corner to the nothing count la.
Yeah.
Tuni and lila.
Yeah. Good point. You know,
I was thinking about that.
on the read that maybe I'll fix it. But you know, one of the things is it's in Fred Dene cheesy. Dalut was in like brochet.
Yes,
Yeah. But Quinn, your health office nesel tina the naster had you know yes too, but shower hush chu desia shower hish chu hene. You know, could he's true de he's true. Couldn't ni curry dion de la no and then it's in right. Good dinner tuna oyster. Right? To like an arrow still. You know, just some differences.
And I hear still on the sea hill chew to our hill chew.
Yeah.
Webel he go
Yeah. Shower who's true, right? Showing Anis at Funa lies a halco dear Benas Nina. So it can't do little things that to the good John. lake dahil ka, right? Do sila, right? Yeah, you know. Yeah, na so it Bonnery, yes, he never do a siba I today, Arsenal, you know, and then I had it, I had it, only done the rest I had. Yeah, it's Holland Bagaya Tier on his year, right? But don't you know how you tier, but out, you know, Nankrin Nila, Rome, nothing, y'all know you tier, you it's everywhere. No, you tier a bit under alaja. So a lot of good stuff doing mill, yeah, salon tatting. I believe it's unbelievable, but then how you tini aren't in the nabanonus ala.
Well, Allah is saying that education is the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
Iba in and nothing God who the education it's in the I say take your education serious.
Yeah.
So for the future.
Yeah, and one last thing, Ukraine, Dene, you know, Kani Thele, see the Contali, ya say, you know, no, ni not strondala, no, ni the duat, you say, Huti, ya Kani Thele, you know, see it, you know, has now, but Dene Kontu Baba Kont Are, you know, Tlant Ude Teoli, you know, Holline Baganya Tila, there's suicide, Huntwe Basu, right?
Well, what other than you de la sant chasiti, the rest are ho on la. Then any other not no ha. Ya tea out and to see. What is don't edit dilu et see dide. You're the answer.
Yeah, den helgen LT här inne så.
Understand that handlar like
Counselor ta Atlanta.
Sivarani Sversu Diri phone they were asked listen, handlar you got your own problems here. Using your phone hand everybody else's problems. You connect as a clear not with the Holia. So put that away and
They get on there. Yeah.
And then we got out of there, the phone had did.
Yeah.
ST and ST.
Yeah. Facebook då är allt nu det är inte.
La.
TikTok they get updated and inte sån där ju kan ni salkring ja.
Phone is was how phone thing how do it and another day.
Yeah. Så sen tax out says I know.
Så sen tax all is ja. Så det är så bara det då tax reply us issue.
Yeah. Telegraph guess it. Oh man, Masudina. Well, Masi Emila Sinesa, Unta Dana Unta Kenat, you know, Saboy Emila Dilaja, Saskatoon, I know Mushja, Mushja, Lantu Hunzia Dena. Deni Yak cars is a dinia.
Deni tea on Sunday.
Moose head, yeah, Deni tea. Well, Moose jaw, good jaw de.
Deni Yatane, that's on Sunday.
Yatane, okay.
Deni Yatane,
yeah.
Jaw.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're busy hilting anybody that is wondering, but yeah, once again, Tines and it's in Facebook update only. Yeah, but kind of that's in Dene, but they could do where sunk at last at and it was the bigger one.
Germany,
yeah.
Yeah.
At doing but Laulia antlers, Like a naked at the last
Bede.
year. But they, yeah.
Uh,
But they again a child yao, so we've got the
Uh,
title again.
oh,
Yeah, Nezu. Yeah. Yeah, so I believe Robert is gonna join us here now. I don't know if he's still got a show on. I know it's a lunch hour, but Masi na ho sin salutina dun zinagan alun tadultio mil safe travels. Another day late in Atlinosa for sure.
well, don't own that.
Yeah, goodbye to Dionola Dena. And he's in Atlinosa.
That's all I need to so
Yeah. Yeah, doen tete sa la lasha nastadu.
Oh,
Yeah, treaty days. Den halde jas tiaran too.
Oh, yeah, 3 days in the Quedo.
Yeah. Then recorded us clear.
Oh, de la.
At the seek and that's a daisy.
Oh, okay.
So must see Nesa. Robert, you want to join? You're all done. Okay. Well, Masi na ho sin salot in a dun zinike yans and no helda you. I hope you got lots of information at the Métis Nation base. Lama shi hol nisi. You know, ni base yain tut I John Salon Tadil yeah. Programs udent then it's it the school education koni basu and then careers, you know, la di dile careers de ni da over the years ahot diontala ala daiha not just one time one shift kont uilu but don't udenet it earns out and a tha ala now get a retirement plan konti see, you know, tot ine dai dlino dela online und ude kolebek esse but see daril dino and nether denk anil aja right koni sia was the on the sun so dun zinege masi na rosion and then once again I think telas 20 hulsage ya sorelt azi then halde astia over the next 3 days masi Senene Clearwater your don't do then to record ilio and then some events right look and that's a daisy but I want to get a lot of stories don't know that zanlu ani myron balya tila ax lakots and danade tinya hear stories like that but so I'll be set up there let me know maybe they're not dated some elders and not able to travel to send me a message, contact me somehow, and we'll line it up. So, Masicho, hello, Roderick, Dlanete, Ramsey, Julius, Michael, Nico, hello. I know Alun Tadel, easy, and thank you, Lori Lemeg. Channel 8 on no bayain lao CHPN kadidit lao and then CILX I know during see I know Patchinac then actually. So maybe then it's not days on your Alacross they're not daisy. So once again, Masi Cho, si Willis Janvier Hushe, then Telas Tours in La Loche, Saskatchewan, Clearwater River Dene Nation, band member the Hestion, but Duhun Dins in like a Treaty 6 territory, Arizona, Alhun Tati Donat, Masi Cho. Have a good day, Salutina.